So I went to the cardiologist the other day to do some tests. And hey, don't worry, I'm not gonna share with you my whole personal health history or my family history, but I just wanted to share with you a little bit about what is happening, especially when it comes down to the Greek health system. There seems to be quite a lot of interest from a lot of people talking about how is the health system here in Greece. I want to share certain things here and there about my experience as a foreigner, and obviously using the health system here in Greece. And there is this program now that is meant to prevent, it's preventative program that people of a certain age, right? That's what I've been told, that we have to do certain tests in order to prevent, right? So we don't show up in the hospital one day and say like, check me out, I'm dying from a stroke or a heart attack, take care of me, right? That's what I've been told. So anyways, and by the way, for the record, I am following my wife's instruction, okay? I have to do what I have to do. I'm 50, I turned 50 this year, and I have to do some tests when you get to at this age. I know some of you guys who watch my channel a little bit older than me, so I've been told as well from my YouTube analytics and from some of you that I have met even here in person when you have been around town. There's more boats coming in. I don't know, there's more people traveling. What I want to say is that I think it's a good thing that we have this new thing that apparently, anybody above the age of 40 or whatever has to go and well, doesn't have to, but it's like an incentive for you to go and check out certain things. After a certain age, you're supposed to go and check some things, which I personally hate it. By all means, if you're older than me and you have gone through all of this, tests that you have to do, if you're of a certain age, please share that with me. I'm the kind of person who, I don't avoid doctors, but it's not something that I'm very good at. My wife, on the other hand, she keeps me in line. She's like, that's it, you have to go and check out this, you have to go and do some blood tests, you have to go and do that. And even though I'm a fairly healthy guy, I'm in my 50s, well, I just turned 50 this year, I don't take any pills for anything. And I consider myself in pretty top shape. I'm not an athlete, by any means, but I try to take care of myself. There's room for improvement, absolutely, but as soon as I turned 50, I got all of this notifications and things like, hey, now you qualify for this test. So I went and did some blood tests, and this is all part of the program that we have here in Greece now, the health system. And I did some blood tests, and then following up the blood test, I had to go to the cardiologist, right, to go and check my blood test and see my heart and all of this. Now there's a follow-up, okay, with this. And I think it's a good thing. It got me like, it's almost like not a slap in the face because everything is okay, but it's almost like, you have to take care of yourself. It's like a reminder. It's like, even the cardiologist, which was a lovely lady, she's like, at your age, we're not 20 anymore. It kind of pisses me off a little bit when I hear that. My wife always makes fun of me, or she gets angry with me. She says, I'm behaving like an old grumpy man. But I'm like, I'm 50, but 50 is the new 30, right? I feel like I'm 50, but at the same time, I feel younger than that. And I live my life in a certain way. I do my steps. I try to work out as much as possible. My diet is pretty Mediterranean, obviously, thanks to my Greek wife. The problem is not the food that I eat, is because my wife cooks bloody amazingly and very, very healthy. Okay, my wife cooks everything from scratch, by the way. It's like not ready anything. It's everything from scratch. Okay, even when she does a homemade pizza, it's from scratch. Okay, I'm talking about she makes the dough. I mean, it's just the whole thing. So the problem is not that, it's what I do outside of that. Like, right, like I like to eat certain things that they might not be helping me. And, you know, take care of salt, take care of certain things, cholesterol levels, obviously drinking. So I'm on a path now to kind of like help this body of mine, right, be healthier and stronger. Okay, so the program has helped me really think about things, you know, and I'm thinking like, okay, maybe I should cut down on the drinking. I like my chipuro, you know, I like chipuros, right? You have seen me share a lot about that here on the channel, and I know that does not help. So, you know, I don't really eat much sweet or anything like that, but I like, you know, I like stuff, right? You know, like you probably. We have our weaknesses, and we have the things that we like. It's funny, it's like rush hour here by the port. Yachts leaving, boats coming in. So anyways, this program, this is what I wanted to get to, and probably that should have been the intro of the video. You know, I literally have to, the next test that I have to do is like literally collect some shit. Excuse my French. But, you know, it's just very uncomfortable for me. You know, please help me out here if you've done that before on your own. My wife is like, I'll help you out. And I'm like, that doesn't sound very romantic, you know, to help me out collect my own poo, you know, but I'm sure I can manage. So I have this test in the house for the last 4 months. And my wife is like, you have to do it. You have to use it. So anyways, I don't know if I should share this with you. I said in the beginning that I was not going to share personal things about my health or family history, and here I'm sharing with you that I have to collect my own poo. But you know, it's part of the program, and this is just something that we have to do, because it's like, hey, preventative shit, literally, right? No pun intended. It's preventing from shit to happen. So I have to do that. I'm not doing that today. And don't worry, I'm not gonna do a video about me collecting my own excrements, but for a person like me, it really it motivates me to actually take action. And obviously I have my wife as well. My wife is like, you have to go and do your blood test. I did my blood test, everything was fine. You know, the classic things, you know, a little bit of high cholesterol here, and just make sure you eat better and all of that. One thing I will tell you, the cardiologists are like, oh, you have to work out, you know, I see that you like to eat because, you know, the blood work shows certain things. I'm like, well, I walk quite a lot, man. You know, I walk like a bitch, literally. Like I do 10,000 steps is my baseline. You know, so imagine if I didn't walk, right? If I don't walk at all and I'm just live a very, you know, sedentary life, imagine how that blood work will have been. So I know that the body is very resilient. The body is an amazing machine. So I know that I have not treated it from time to time the way I should. This program here that we have, I was asking my wife yesterday, and not knowing that I want to do a video about this, but I was asking my wife yesterday, and she was telling me about it. She was telling me about it, pretty much like, well, this is a program that just is pretty new. So anybody above the age of 40, women and men, whatever, you have to do this test. In your case, you just turned 50, so you have to do, you know, the usual shit that man does do. Kalimera kalaiste. I don't know how is it in your country. Yesterday, my wife was talking to a friend, good friend, who happens to be in the UK, and she was mentioning to my wife, like, you know, she has to do all of this test, and she had to book an appointment for a doctor, and she has to wait like 10 months, you know, to see a doctor. By the way, she used to live here in Greece, and she was telling my wife, you know, I miss the Greek health system, because now she's back at the UK. She's living in the UK again. She said, like, I miss the Greek health system, because here is completely different. And even though she has some x-rays and certain things that she has done here in Greece, in the UK they don't accept that. It's like, I don't want to see them, you have to do them here. and it takes like 10 months to see a doctor and all of that. And I realize how different it is, because I've been living here in Greece for so long, and if I want to take my kids to the pediatrician, and if I want to go and do some blood tests or do anything, I can just do that today, right? And there is a little bit more of an easy access. I mean, even if you want to do some blood tests without a doctor, you can just show up to a private lab and say, like, I just want a full checkup. And in fact, I know foreigners who have done that, but come here and they just pay full price without any doctors or without any nothing, because they're not part of the system, and that's what they do. And I think that's a great thing. Now, this video is not about the health system in general. This video is not about political inclinations or anything like that, or to say that the health system is the best in the world. Absolutely not. This is just a video about my experience of the things that I have to do as a 50-year-old man living here in Greece. And I just want to, just share here and there. Not a lot, really. Just, I thought it was like a good, maybe information that you might want to know. I don't know how is it in America. Well, I have an idea because my mom lives in America, lives in the States. And, she's 70 plus, so she has to do her own test and follow-ups. And obviously she explains to me what's, how the system works a little bit. But I'm still in a little bit of like shock of how it is, in the States when it comes down to the health system. In the UK, I know it has changed quite a lot lately. I don't know how is it in Australia and other countries, and yeah, here in Greece is far from perfect. My wife has given birth here in Greece as well, in the public hospital, which is inconceivable for a lot of Greeks, because a lot of Greeks go private, and they spend quite a lot of money when giving birth. I have mentioned this here and there in the channel. So anyways, guys, this is just a quick video about this program that I've been told that exists for quite recently. It's been launched quite recently. It's not that old. I thought it was something that it's been going on for some time, but apparently it's not. So anybody that is above a certain age, you have access to certain things, and there are some tests that the state or the government is telling you, like, hey, you have access to this. Now, the cardiologist that I went is a private cardiologist. So what happens is that you get a certain like an email or whatever, like a notification, and then you have like a number, and then you can just book your appointment. And I went to see this cardiologist, which is private, but it's free. Like, that consultation is completely free. You're part of the system. I thought that was really cool. Obviously, from there, I have a follow-up. The follow-up is not free, but I have to go and do some more blood tests to just do a follow-up. And then, the next appointment, I will have to pay. But what happens is that now, I don't have a problem paying, because I have met this cardiologist, and I really like her as a doctor. Like, I went to her office, and it's like, it's here in Nafplio, pretty solid, a place. It's private, like, meaning that it's like, okay, full on, service, and it's one-to-one. It's like I can just book an appointment right now, like, or whenever I need to. And my wife is going there as well. So these little things, I know in different countries work differently. I mean, I know in Venezuela as well, this is the health system is a different ballpark, it's a different ball game altogether. Anyways, a lot of things to do. I'm going again through a little bit of a health like tighten up the screws a little bit. Say, like, I'm doing okay, I'm doing great, but there's room for improvement, as always, right? There's room for improvement, and I keep hearing this again and again, like, at your age you shouldn't be doing this, or at your age we have to check this, we have to check that, do that blood test, do this, make sure that this is like that. you know, be careful with this family history and all of this, you know, depending on where you come from, and your family history as well will play a big role on this. And, you know, like I've been mentioning, I'm a little bit not on it, and I have my wife, thank God I have my wife to push me to do all of these things, like make sure you do that, make sure you do this, you know, make sure that you go and do your blood test. Actually, she books the whole thing for me and takes me like a kid by the hand. A little bit embarrassing, but I use that foreigner thing that I don't know if they're gonna talk to me and I might not understand something. So yeah, I went to the cardiologist with my wife. She takes me from the hand. She has the whole paperwork and all of the thing and all the files. It's just fucking hilarious. That would make a good video, actually. My wife taking me by the hand to a doctor to do my things. I don't go crying, and I don't get a lollipop at the end of the consultation, but I comply. I said, like, okay, let's go together, babe. You know, let's just go. Let's go. What time is the appointment again? Okay, we're going. You know, anyways, thank you so much for the love and support, my friend. As usual, I have to go home and do some work now. But yeah, thank you so much, man, for everything. I hope I didn't overshare here on this video. The whole point of this was just to show you that, you know, I'm still human and I still have to do some things here. And I'm using the Greek system because I live here in Greece, and, you know, the health system, it is what it is. But, you know, I thought about this thing, preventative program or whatever. That's a good thing. And, you know, as a 50-year-old man, I have to do my test and keep at it. So anyways, all credit to my wife, by the way, because she's the one who's like telling me off. And, you know, I always tell her, like, I received this message. It says something that I have to go and do something because I'm 50 now. Anyways, have a good day. I'll see you later.